You love it. 742, Big 550, KTRS. What's going on with the Railway Exchange building downtown? To talk about it is the CEO of Downtown STL, Doug Woodruff. Doug, welcome back, Big 550, KTRS.
Thank you. Good morning.
The Railway building we were just talking, that's the famous bar building downtown.
That is the famous bar building. It's now been empty. The last inhabitants were the T-Rex group.
Now, what happened to them?
They moved around the corner downtown on Washington Avenue, have a great new building. And so we're left with what was once the largest office building in the United States is now the largest vacant building in the United States.
And so what's coming up this week?
Well, it's been great. For the last 3.5 months, we've been working with the Fox School of Architecture at WashU. We've had 9 graduate students, some of them local, some of them international, all spending over thousands of hours with individual design projects trying to re-image and reimagine what the Railway Exchange building could be. So it's been exciting.
And so what happens Wednesday?
On
Wednesday
night, we unveil the 9 different proposals. Each of them look not only at the space and the structure, but how it fits into downtown, how it could be readapted to new uses. It's obviously not going to be a department store in the future, so we got to find new uses for it.
Is it in pretty good shape?
You know, the bones are great for that building. Again, it was such a large structure. At one point, it housed 3 of the top 4 law firms in town. It's always been taken very good care of. The current owners have made sure of that. So, yeah, it's in pretty good shape. It's just a question of what can you use 1.2 million square feet to do.
In terms of technology and infrastructure in there, how hard would it be to get the new 21st century fiber optics and wires and everything that a company might need for it?
It's a great question, McGraw. Actually, being downtown gives that building that advantage. Downtown is laden with lots of optic fiber, some of it dark, some of it used currently, and most of it goes right around that building. So that won't be the challenge. The real challenge is trying to figure out how do you bring either office or a combination of office and residential back into space and make it mixed use and kind of cool and funky when it's so big.
Right. So I've often said that downtown needs a Target. Downtown needs one of those, a Kohl's or something like that. I know that they've got, 10,000 people living downtown? I don't know if that's enough to sort of sustain a Target, but it seems like there needs to be some type of, not necessarily a department store, but some type of Target downtown.
Target went around the country and put in 8 urban stores about 2.5 years ago, and then they had their challenges with their credit card issues and really have kind of pulled back on new stores. Retail in general is changing. I mean, we saw it a week ago Monday, right? Retail is mostly now online.
Right.
So the idea that we're going to get a major 50,000 square foot multi-purpose retail store is probably low on the horizon compared to, I think, what some of the more creative uses that we'll see tomorrow night downtown.
It just seems like they're building IKEA, a mile from this building. I guess this building wouldn't have worked for IKEA because...
Well, IKEA has a very unique footprint. Every one of their stores is the same. IKEA took a risk when they came to St. Louis because they did build an urban store, but they needed 12 acres to build it. Mm-hmm. So it would not have worked downtown. Now, having said that, we're ecstatic that IKEA is going to open and how that's going to impact downtown. It will make the ability to live downtown and get on a Metrolink and go 3 stops and get off at IKEA.
Right.
Part of the urban experience that everybody looks for when they come downtown.
There are so many lofts and apartment buildings already downtown and hotels. What about a living space? I mean, that's a lot of living space, though.
Well, here's the cool thing about it. There is a light well that currently goes down to the 11th floor. I think you'll see tomorrow night with the unveiling of many of these designs, the ability to actually take that light well down further, almost to ground level, which will lessen the space that's needed to be rented or sold or leased, and create a whole new dynamic for that building. That's the really cool thing about what the Fox graduate students are going to be doing. They're going to take that building and probably think of things we never could. We'll also be able to share that not only locally, but around the country and around the world to see if there are any developers or other architecture firms that want to take those concepts and really move them forward. So it kind of raises and elevates the presence of the building in the country.
But I mean, the ultimate home run would be some tech company, a Google, a PayPal, a Twitter comes in and says, that's great space. The young kids like the downtown urbanness of it. We can sort of renovate it to the way we want it, and it's hip and happening.
Sure, absolutely. In fact, Twitter did it right in the middle of San Francisco in a part of town that most people didn't think was part of the vibe of San Francisco until Twitter did it. So we, along with the Economic Development Council and many others, are talking to lots of tech firms across the country, and most of them are very excited because of what we have growing really at a grassroots level with our entrepreneurial focus downtown.
Right.
It'd be nice to get a little bidding war for something.
Absolutely.
All right, so where is this thing tomorrow, and how do we get there?
Tomorrow night starts at, it's going from 6 to 8. It's open to the public. They're at 630 Olive. We'll have some refreshments, and then we'll really dive into each of these 9 graduate students presenting what they think
Is this event
be.
at the Railway?
It's at the Railway.
It's
on
at the
21st
Railway Exchange.
On the 21st floor.
The Railway Exchange building, one of the great, beautiful buildings, the famous bar building, now looking to be repurposed. To find out more, website?
Website, go to Downtown STL Inc.
Downtown STL Inc. Their CEO is Doug Woodruff. Doug, thanks for coming in.
Thanks very much.
7